So, what's the real secret sauce behind pretty much every successful business? Well, a lot of the time, it comes down to just one thing: how well they manage their relationships with their customers. Today, we're going to demystify customer relationship management, or CRM. We're going to break down what it is, how it's evolved, and the huge choice companies have to make when they decide to bring this kind of power into their business.
Let me start by asking you a really simple, but honestly, a really powerful question. How well do you actually know your customers? In today's world, with all this endless data and digital noise, just truly understanding and managing those relationships, it's one of the single biggest challenges any business faces.
And the answer to that challenge is CRM. But here's the most important thing to get right from the very beginning. A CRM isn't just a piece of software you go out and buy. No, it's a whole strategy, a new way of thinking about how your company deals with people. The technology, that's just the tool that makes it all work. The real goal here is to put the customer right at the center of everything you do.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the absolute basics of what a CRM even is. Then we'll unpack the four pillars that really hold up a strong CRM system. After that, we get to the main event, the big implementation choice. Do you build it yourself or do you use the cloud? We're going to explore why the cloud has pretty much taken over, and we'll wrap up with the secrets to making sure a CRM project is actually a success.
Okay, so let's start at square one. What is a CRM, really? I mean, when you strip away all the jargon, a CRM system is about one thing: organizing the vital data that a business needs to survive and thrive.
Just think of a CRM as the central brain for your entire customer operation. It pulls together three absolutely critical pieces of the puzzle. First, the basics. Who are your customers? Then you've got their history. What have they actually bought from you in the past? And finally, their preferences. What do they like? What do they want? When you combine those three things, boom, suddenly you've got this incredible 360-degree view of your customer. But listen, a modern CRM is way, way more than just some fancy glorified database. It's really a system that's built on four distinct but totally interconnected pillars.
And this image here gives us a fantastic overview of what those four parts of a complete CRM system look like. You can see them right there. You've got operational, analytical, collaborative, and strategic. And each one has a very specific job to do.
Now, the real magic is in how these four pillars work together. Strategic is the big picture philosophy, that customer-first culture. Operational, that's the nuts and bolts, the day-to-day automation of things like sales and marketing. Analytical is the brain, digging deep into all that data to find powerful insights. And collaborative, well, that's all about making sure everyone from sales to marketing to customer support is on the exact same page.
Okay, and this brings us right to the heart of our discussion today, the big choice. Once a company decides, yes, we need a CRM, they immediately face a massive question. Do we build this thing ourselves, or do we rent it from the cloud? To really appreciate why this choice is so important, you have to kind of hop in a time machine and go back a bit. In the 90s, getting a CRM was, frankly, a nightmare. The source material calls it a cumbersome procedure. It was unbelievably expensive, incredibly complicated, and just a huge headache to manage. We're talking about massive, multi-year projects that only the absolute biggest companies could even dream of affording.
You know, the best way to think about this is like owning a house versus renting an apartment. An on-premise CRM is like building your own custom house. You can customize every little detail, you can integrate it with anything else you own, but it costs a fortune up front and it can take years to build. A cloud CRM, on the other hand, is like renting a beautiful, fully furnished apartment. It's way cheaper, you can move in tomorrow, and you don't need a whole IT team to manage it. The trade-off? You have less control and you're essentially trusting your landlord with your data. So, given that choice, it's probably no surprise that the cloud model absolutely exploded in popularity. But this wasn't just about the technology getting better. It was a direct response to a massive shift in what we, as customers, started to expect. One of the sources we looked at just nails it. It says, a new generation of empowered consumers is emerging, and they demand immediate service with a personalized touch. Basically, people just weren't willing to wait around anymore. And those old, slow, clunky on-premise systems, they just couldn't keep up. And this new demand led directly to the creation of what's called E7.5. The key innovation here, the thing that changed everything, was that it was web-based. It was built from the ground up to connect everyone, customers, sales teams, partners, into one central hub that you could get to from anywhere. I know that sounds totally normal to us now, but back then, whoa, that was a revolution. So why did the cloud win so decisively? Well, for a ton of businesses, especially smaller ones, it was like striking gold. All of a sudden, they had access to these powerful tools that were affordable, they were easy to set up, and they were actually user-friendly. They could streamline their entire sales process in a matter of weeks, not years. It completely leveled the playing field.
But, and this is a really big but, just signing up for a cloud CRM doesn't automatically fix all your problems. For this last part, we have to look at what it really takes to make it work, because believe me, the technology is only one small piece of the puzzle.
It all boils down to this simple idea. Technology is just a tool. Any CRM project that's treated as just another IT task with a start date and an end date is basically doomed from the start. Real, lasting success happens when a company sees this as a fundamental change in their business strategy, a long-term commitment to putting the customer first, period.
A great way to think about this is with the 4 Ps of CRM strategy. First, process. Are your internal systems even ready for this kind of change? Second, perception. Are your employees going to see this as a helpful tool or just another chore they have to do? Third, privacy. How are you going to handle all this sensitive customer data responsibly? And finally, and this might be the most important one, politics. Is this a real business-wide initiative, or is it just something the IT department's cooking up? Because if it's just an IT project, it is almost guaranteed to fail.
And that really leaves us with one final, crucial question you have to ask yourself. Is your business strategy built around the things you sell, or is it truly built around the people who buy them? The answer to that question will decide if your CRM becomes your most powerful engine for growth, or just another expensive piece of software.